We've got a big one for you today. It's been a mixed bag in the season so far. We've got a massive Champions League match that could determine if we go through from the group, and also a Premier League match, which if we don't win, we could see ourselves not just slip out the top 4, but slip into 9th, 10th place if it doesn't go well. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Leicester series. Like I say, we've got two huge games today, one of which is a Champions League match, one of which is the Premier League, and I'll catch you up on everything that's gone on up until that point in a second. But I also am going to need your guys' help today in helping me with our transfer plans for the upcoming January window. I need you guys to help me pick who we're going to sign and where we're going to sign some players. Before we get into it all though, don't forget to smash the like button to show your support. If we could hit 150 likes, that would be phenomenal. Subscribe for more. We've surpassed 10,000 subscribers. Again, I've mentioned it in a previous video, but I will do a singular video talking about the 10k mark. So thank you so much for that. But let's keep it going. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and also I'll respond to any comments down below. So drop whatever you want, and hopefully you guys can help me with our transfer plans. But first and foremost, today's matches. One is an away match against Copenhagen, and one of which is an away match against Chelsea. But seeing as the Copenhagen one is first, let me catch you up on our Champions League group, where, as you can see, we have qualified from a group that contained Milan and Barcelona with 2 games to spare. We have been phenomenal in this group so far, beating Barcelona home and away, and now with a good result against Copenhagen, it will put us on enough points where if Milan drops something against Barcelona, we will top the group. But either way, we're going through to the knockout stages of the UCL, which is phenomenal, but it has meant that our focus has kind of dwindled in the Premier League. Now, it's not a terrible situation, mind you. We are 3 points away from 4th place Arsenal. However, at the same time, Leeds are sitting there on 22 points. If we lose away to Chelsea today, which is a real possibility because they're second in the league, only losing 2 so far, 3 points behind Man City, and Leeds win and Fulham win, we could see ourselves drop out of those European places. Our form's been okay, a little bit iffy, but overall, I'm fairly happy with it, to be honest. We beat Liverpool in the Cup, then beat Wolves away. We beat Copenhagen 1-0 in the 91st minute. The real high points were these wins against Barcelona, one at home and then a win at the Nou Camp 2-1, which was a phenomenal result. But outside of that, we're losing to Aston Villa. Yes, we beat Norwich, but only just, thanks to a late winner from Calvert-Lewin in the Cup. We then scraped by them in the Premier League. We draw with West Ham. We draw to Manchester United at home, despite quite a few times looking like we were pretty strong contenders to win the match. So like I say, it has been a little bit of a mixed bag, but overall the squad is doing very well. We've got some players performing at a very high level. I think we should take a look at those high performers first, and then we'll worry about where we should go on the transfer front, because I do want your guys' input. But Calvert-Lewin has been a great signing so far, 9 goals and 7 assists in 14 appearances. Iheanacho, Bayindir and Hudson-Odoi all doing well. Hudson-Odoi having a great start to his life here as a Leicester player. Shoulder up is out injured for a few weeks, as is Sander Berg. And our other 2 new signings are doing okay. Tyrick Mitchell, not been too bad, he's been fine. Sotalo, 6.86, isn't phenomenal, but it's okay, he's not playing awfully. Soyuncu has been injured, so we've only had 3 centre-backs, so they've all been a little bit tired, but now he's back and we can pick a strong squad. But in terms of where we're going to go with this team, I want you guys to let me know where you think we should improve. For me, goalkeeping is fine. I mean, Bayindir is a great goalkeeper, playing very well this year, and Stolazic is an academy product who is getting more game time recently and looks very strong. Left back, I feel like we've got 2 good players there. I know we could go for a world-class player, but I just think these 2 are good enough cover right now. The same at right back, both of those 2 do a good job. Now, centre back is one area where I feel like we're lacking that world-class presence. Maybe it's because Soyuncu's been out for a while and it feels like we've missed him, but in terms of like a world-class centre-back, maybe we still need that, and I think that is one area that I am looking to improve. Indeed, he's one of the best ball-winning midfielders around, and Sander Berg is a good backup. Dewsbury Hall has been a bit off it this year, but realistically, he is a good roaming playmaker, as is Boubacar Soumaré, so I think those 2 positions are okay. And then going forward, again, I think we've got enough options on either wing. Barnes and Shoulderup on one side, Berardi and Maddison on the other, Calvert-Lewin, Daka, Vardy and Iheanacho. I'm not sure. So I think the only thing we're really desperate of is a top-class centre-back and maybe a really good striker who can be the long-term replacement to Vardy. I think Calvert-Lewin is definitely filling those boots, but maybe we need that, Erling Haaland level finisher for us. We won't get that kind of player, but maybe that's what we need to look for. Someone to really take over the reins when Vardy goes as the complete catalyst for this team. Although saying that, Iheanacho's been bagging, Daka's been playing well, so who knows? But I think centre-back is definitely the area for me. But let me know what you think, and if you have any recommendations of which players to get in the position that you suggest, let me know that as well down below. Don't worry about our transfer budget. We don't have much, but we might get more in the January window. I more just want to know where we're going with the team so I can start to make some transfers there. But I'm a bit lost at this point where we can actually improve. I know our squad isn't great, but I also don't know who we could sign or where we could improve the team with the money that we have and the players that we have in the team. For this match against Copenhagen though, it's away from home. It won't be easy, but I'll hope that we can get a win, and we are selecting a strong lineup. We're going to go for a back line of Pereira, Nelson, Soyuncu, Justin, that's fine by me. Sumare, Dewsbury Hall, I'd rather play in Ndidi if possible. Berardi, Hudson-Odoi, Daka and Vardy. So it's a bit of a rotation side, but still a strong side to get us over the line. And hopefully these boys can do the job for us. But even if we lose, we've still qualified, which is, it's still great news. And we have AC Milan in the last match, which will really decide who takes the top spot if Milan were to win again today against Barcelona. Let me just slow the highlights down a little bit, and we are off in the match today against Copenhagen. We've got a strong squad on, so I'm hoping we can get over the line. Berardi's been much better this year, and hopefully he can have an impact today. Hard to actually pick who's been better between him and Maddison for me, but he is a phenomenal player on that right-hand side, and we have two very good choices on that side of the pitch. One thing we have been dealing with at the club, not a massive deal, but our backup goalkeeper Stolazic has been asking for more game time to get into the national team setup and then threatened to leave. So I thought, you know what, I like him, so we'll give him games here and there. So you might see me rotate him in the Chelsea match for Bayern. I'm trying to give him some game time at least, just to calm him down, but he does understand that he is a backup goalkeeper, so I don't really get why he's complaining, particularly with the form Bayern is in, which I say as he concedes a long shot, but it was a very good finish from Cornelius for Copenhagen. A volley from outside the box with his left foot, hits the post and goes in. Not the best start for us, but you know what? You got to give him credit. It was a good goal. Paul, of all people, I don't know who Paul is, he picks up the ball, crosses it in, and there's not much you can do about a shot like that. Bayern tries, but he can't get close to it. Powerful, well placed, and Copenhagen go 1-0 in front, and it's not really against a run of play because no one has done anything yet of note. But here we go. Could it be a chance for us or another chance for Copenhagen? Bayern finds Soyuncu, who's coming back from injury for one of his first appearances all season today. Dewsbury Hall with a very good long pass forward, finds Domenico Berardi. I've been singing his praises, and he scores for us his fourth goal of the season. A great ball from Dewsbury Hall, which we haven't been seeing much of so far this year. Very, very underwhelming so far, Dewsbury Hall, considering we had a £50 million offer from Man City in the summer that we chose to reject. I'm hoping we can see him play well, but that's what we want to see. In the bottom left corner, Araujo has just put Barcelona 1-0 up against AC Milan, and that means currently we will be topping the group. So let me just adjust our screen so we have all that information on there. Let's go latest scores and then also the league table. There we go, at the top. We're currently sitting pretty with 11 points. Of course, if Milan lose and we don't win, it doesn't mean too much. We need to make sure we win and Barcelona win. But so far, 1-1 at Milan and 1-1 at Leicester Copenhagen. We have a long ball over the top from Copenhagen here though, and it's Paul who's in behind yet again. Hopefully we can deal with this, but it goes back to Isaac Johansson. So long shot, Cornelius is there, but Nelson manages to head it away. Comes back out to Paul, who seems very influential for a player with such a short name. But here we go. Here's Johansson on the left-hand side. He plays the long shot in, and it's a good save from Bayern to stop it rolling to anyone near the goal. Just as a side note as well, I had a few comments on my last few videos basically saying, oh Jay, why didn't you do this special tactical instruction when Maddison came on, or when you brought this player on, surely you should adjust your tactics, or go positive, defensive, very attacking. I'll be honest, right? Cornelius has scored again. And that probably proves my point, what I'm about to say. My tactical knowledge on Football Manager isn't great. I don't do loads of tactical changes and try and really tweak the system for every individual player. I like to set a tactic, have that tactic, and then just have players learn those roles. I will build a side as opposed to make a tactic that works for the team that I have. I'm all about the transfer side of things. When it comes to tactics, I can do a few things, don't get me wrong, but I'm not out there fiddling with every single little thing, always doing opposition instructions that are suggested. Most of the time I will, but I'm not a proper tweaker. I know some people play Football Manager like that and really get bogged down in the tactics and making sure that every single instruction is on. I don't really care about that too much. I just like picking the players for the match and signing the right players for my team. But everyone plays FM differently. And a lot of you guys would probably be winning against Copenhagen here, but I'm sticking with a 4-2-4. We're going attacking, and I'm hoping our subs will help us out when I bring them on after this highlight. But maybe we can make it 2-2, because we do have a lot of bodies forward here, and it is Justin who finds Hudson-Odoi. He flicks it onto Jamie Vardy. Oh, it's poor from Jamie Vardy. Only scored twice so far this season, which has been an injury-ridden one for him so far, to be fair to him. But it's not been his best year so far, but maybe he'll pick it up. But anyway, it's time for some changes. Vardy and Daka are not doing good enough up front, so it's going to be Calvert-Lewin and Iheanacho. Who have we got here? James Justin not performing well, so let's bring on Tyrick Mitchell. In terms of tiredness, Ndidi's not doing the best, so I'll bring on Boubacar Soumare, and then we've got one more substitution to use. I don't really know who could make a difference. I'm going to try Maddison on for Berardi. I know Berardi has scored, but outside of that, I haven't really seen him. And Maddison just has that set-piece ability. I know Berardi does as well, but Maddison just has that wow factor for us when he comes on. But speaking of set-piece ability, if this is Johansson, we might struggle here because he is a wonder kid of years gone by and is usually very good at these kind of things. I say years gone by, he is still a wonder kid. But it ends up being Tom Abatic who curls it into the top right corner. 3-1 down against Copenhagen, not being a great day, and it's probably all going to come down, in terms of topping the group, to a match against AC Milan. It is at the King Power, which is pretty favourable to us, but you won't see it on video. Next time you see us will be after the January window. So do wish us luck if we don't win this game, but it's not looking very positive right now, and we might have to change the way we're playing. Our subs didn't really get a chance to influence the match there. It was just an instant free kick goal, but considering the XG, Copenhagen got a little bit lucky to score 3 goals here, 35% possession, not even 1 XG, but scored 3. A free kick was in there, a very good long shot from Cornelius. But maybe we can still get a draw out of this, who knows? Here's Dewsbury Hall. He plays the ball out to Ricardo Pereira, onto Soyuncu. Soyuncu back to Pereira. We're building up nicely, and there is still time for us to get 1 goal back, and maybe even 2, but it is Copenhagen who steal the ball. Bayandir, though, comes out and wins it, presses up high and plays Dewsbury Hall. And we are trying to play quickly here, so maybe that will make a difference. But again, Copenhagen cut it out. A good performance from them today. Our form hasn't been spectacular recently in terms of league form, but usually the Champions League is where we've excelled. Just seems like today on video, they don't want to perform for you guys. But here we go. We might have a chance here because Hudson-Odoi does look to be through, but it's Calvert-Lewin that we find instead. His header hits the post, and then he manages to squeeze it in. It's another goal from Calvert-Lewin, so at least if we lose, we have a positive in the fact that our striker keeps scoring goals, and he's been very good this year. Cornelius has just came off. Karamoko comes on for them, but great play, one to dominate the ball in the air, and then he shows his striking instincts. I think that might have even been a Rabona to finish off there. But who knows, there might be life in this game yet. Let's demand a little bit more, and there is a highlight straight after with us on the ball. If we can make it 3-3 in this highlight, there's still 6 or 7 minutes to get a goal to make it 4, but it looks like it might be another Copenhagen chance with Karamoko going close, but Bayandir makes a very good save, showing why he is our true number 1. Even when our backup goalkeeper does ask for some game time, I know realistically, when the big games come up, it will be Bayandir in goal. Oh, but Copenhagen taking a long time on every single set piece now. It is a corner, floated in, Soumare heads it away, and with 6 minutes on the clock, this highlight is likely about to end, and we still have just a few minutes to try and make a difference here. It looks like Milan are winning their match. No, they are drawing, so a win here could be massive, but it looks like time is up. We do lose. Again, I know you're all thinking, Jake, do this tactic, do that tactic. But look, with the tactic we've got, it's working. We've got great players. We should be winning that kind of match. We had the chances to win. We just weren't finishing our chances. And Copenhagen pick up their first points of the group, but we are still there at the top with 10 points. And all we need now is a result against Milan, either a win or a draw, and we will be top of the Champions League group. It's not about to get much easier. We've got Chelsea away, then AC Milan at home, and then Liverpool at home. Ooh, these are a lot of big games in our run-up here in December. Hopefully we can get into January still in a good position. We are pretty much on game day, but I just want to show you this. We've got a young player at the club called Will Alves, who's been developing quite nicely. We've used him in the cups here and there, and whilst he hasn't been amazing, I mean, he looks like a player who could have some potential. Now, ideally, he's an attacking midfielder. Outside of that, maybe a central midfielder. I'm trying to train him as a roaming playmaker in defence. Maybe not the best idea, but you know what? I feel like he has the attributes to potentially do it. He's a passer, a creator, and maybe we can make a Dewsbury Hall backup out of this man. Here's a transfer I wouldn't mind though. James Justin, interested by Manchester City. £20 million for him. Probably wouldn't accept 20 million, but 30, 40, I'd be willing to listen. Bayern Munich in for Victor Nelson as well, another player I would not mind selling if we got the right offer in. But let's pick our side here for this Chelsea match, and it will be Stolazic in the net for this one, just to keep him happy and, you know, give Binder a rest, even though he does not need one at all. We're going for a backline of Justin, Fez, Sotalo and Castagna, a midfield of Sumare, Dewsbury Hall. Sanderberg's injured, isn't he? I guess we will have to go for that then. Berardi isn't going to start. Madison is. Harvey Barnes won't start this game. I'm actually going to give the start to Sheldrup, who's injured. So, yeah, Harvey Barnes will start, actually. Calvert-Lewin and Kelechi Iheanacho against Chelsea here. I'm going to be honest with you. Based on that last performance and the 2 draws before that and the fact that our players are quite injured, I don't have much hope for our side here against Chelsea. They've got a team of Aussie men, Sterling, Ziyech, Havertz, Gallagher and Kante, with Cucurella, Zabrani, Fofana, Reece James and Edouard Mendy with a very strong bench. And that bench included Romelu Lukaku, who's made his way back to the club, so that's an interesting one. Chelsea in very good form as well by the looks of it, rising up the table now into 3rd place under the management of Zinedine Zidane, I believe. So it's not going to be an easy match at all here. But who knows, we're Leicester, we might turn up and make a miracle. And here is Justin to Dewsbury Hall, who plays a long ball forward, and I'm hoping those 2 strikers will be the difference for us today. Calvert-Lewin and Iheanacho, both in very good form, but Chelsea, of course, have other ideas with some very good players in their team, one of which is Hakim Ziyech, who hits the ball on the volley from Raheem Sterling, but just wide on that occasion. 20 minutes in though, and we've only had that one highlight. Chances all in Chelsea's favour at Stamford Bridge, but possession is fairly equal, so we just need that one chance, that one corner, that one ball forward to create a goal, and who knows how this one will go. But here is Sterling for Chelsea on the edge of the box. He takes a shot, it deflects. Stolazic manages to get a hand to it despite the deflection and pushes it wide into the Boohoo Man signs, not sponsored by Boohoo Man, by the way. Here comes Ziyech playing a cross in for Chelsea. We managed to get it away, but it looks like it's going to be one of those games. Fofana, a former player coming up against us here. How I wouldn't mind having him today. Stolazic, another good save from Ziyech, who looks to be a very influential player in this iteration of Chelsea's team at least. We'll try and deal with him the best we can, but we do have a potential attacking throw-in here with Sumare on the ball on the wing. We've ended up finding Dewsbury Hall, who lays it off to Barnes, who misses his shot. It's been blocked, but we do keep the pressure on. Is that the end of it though? It might very well be, because Raheem Sterling's trying to break away for Chelsea now. Sumare does manage to nick it back though, and the highlight's still going, so who knows? Here's Harvey Barnes. Iheanacho scores, but he was about a million miles offside. Am I wrong? Surely he was offside. And I think, yeah, it's not going to count. There you go. He was like a million miles off. I don't even know why this was even a consideration. Also, what kind of attacking intelligence is that in Football Manager from Iheanacho? A player cannot be that far offside. I don't believe that's possible. But it is a free kick from Hakim Ziyech on his left foot. It's going to curl in, isn't it? It does. Of course he scores it. His first goal of the season as well. Decides to turn up against us with a brilliant free kick. He's looked very good all game, and he's doing his Hakim Ziyech thing of turning up once every 3 months of the season for a nice performance, and then disappears and plays rubbish after that. So nice that he's done it against us though, isn't it? Thanks for that, Hakim. And here he is again on another dead ball, playing the ball into the box to Kai Havertz, whose header nearly goes in, and it feels like it's going to be one of those videos today. We are struggling in these matches, but it is to be expected. Is that a red card for Wout Faes? It is. What a day. What a day this has been so far. It's just all going wrong, isn't it? Right, let's bring Madison into the middle. Let's bring Harvey Barnes off for a centre-back in Victor Nelson. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. I'm going to try and get Dewsbury Hall to hold his shape a little bit more and play as a deep line playmaker on defence. Going to make Madison an advanced playmaker and just call it that and see, you know, maybe we can get into half-time still at 1-0. We do make it into half-time, thankfully, but it's not looking good in terms of our chances of getting any points from this game. Apparently we've been unlucky so far, so I'm going to suggest that. But to me, I'd kind of agree with that. It was basically just a Wout Faes issue, and maybe he's a centre-back that we would let go if we do bring a new centre-back in. We have got some in mind to potentially sign. I mean, I think that will be the place where I try and bring players in. But now it is time for subs. 70 minutes in, still only 1-0, so there is the hope that we could sneak a cheeky goal in there for a draw. We're going to bring on Ndidi, swap him over with Sumare. Our forward line hasn't done great, so let's bring on Daka and Vardy for a little bit of extra pace. Neither one of those, though, doing too well for us so far. Shoulder up is a big miss. He might only be a young man, but he's been phenomenal for us recently. And he is a massive player to be missing. He was influential in those games against Barcelona. And we've made all our subs now in the hope it might make a difference. But it is going to be a Chelsea free kick with Pulisic. Stolazic does well to get a hand to it, but Wesley Fofana scores against his old club. Oh, it's not a day to be a Leicester fan, is it? Fofana makes it 2-0. We are 2-0 down with 10 men. Realistically, it's probably 3 points lost here. How far we're going to slip down in the league, I don't know. According to this, we're still in 6th place, which isn't terrible. But there is now a pretty sizable gap between us and 4th place, with 6 points in it, and we do want to be a Champions League tied next season. Chelsea have got other ideas here though, with Romelu Lukaku coming on. He feeds Hakim Ziyech for his second of the game, is it? It's not. Stolazic managed to stand up and make the save, but we're going to be losing 2-0, maybe even 3 if we're feeling nice and generous for Chelsea. But Daka wants to send Vardy through. He does. Fofana slows down to give the old man his goal, but the old man misses. Fofana tried to do a favour for us there against his old club, but it did not work out. We were the underdogs and you gave your best effort. And there you go, the assistant manager for the first time ever gets the recommendation of a team talk wrong, because we've said that and the boys were very upset. I'd kind of agree with it though. We are the underdogs coming into that game away at the Bridge, and we were in the game until we got a man off, so what can you do? Look, the season's still in December, we've got plenty of time to get better in the league, but realistically, did any of us think we would qualify out of the Champions League group? Probably not. So the fact we've done that is already a massive plus. Now we just need to focus on our league form a little bit more, maybe go further in the Carabao Cup where we've got Manchester City. Who knows what this season has in store for us? Still only December, but plenty of transfers still to come for this team to make it way better. The rebuild is still continuing as we try and make Leicester a regular Premier League contender. If you have enjoyed, smash the like button, subscribe for more, and let me know in the comments who we should sign. But most of all, have a great day everyone, and I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.